guys have joined me before, you know that I always have water or a little tea with me. Today is moringa tea. So I've been on moringa tea all day long. So I always keep a little something to drink by me because talking and moving can definitely kind of wear out your vocal cords a little bit. And I do a lot of talking and moving. So today, if you are going to do the yoga class with us, welcome. Mr. Robinson is resting today, so he's not here for today's class, but you know he's normally right here by my side, but you just got me today, and that's all right, right? So thank you guys for joining this afternoon for this Tuesday afternoon yoga. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to Meet the Robinsons. Also, don't forget to follow, share, like, and subscribe. Again, you can subscribe for only $4.99 per month. So being that I'm already standing, we're just going to start standing up. So if you are on your yoga mat or wherever, because you don't need a yoga mat to do yoga, right? Not at all. So if you are, just let's stand up nice and tall and straight. Let's put our bodies into alignment and let our minds and bodies know that we're getting ready to do a little work. So we're going to line up our feet. We're going to have our toes pointed out straight ahead of us. So you may have to turn your leg a bit to get those toes straight in front of us. They're not going to be splayed out this way, and they're not going to be too inverted. They're going to be straight out in front of us, about shoulder width apart. We're going to stand nice and tall, like a string is pulling the top of our head. We're relaxing our shoulders away from our ears. Our hands are down by our sides, and everything is kind of relaxed. There's a very slight bend in the knee if you need to. We're not holding in our stomach. We're not holding in any muscles in our buttocks. We're really just standing relaxed but firm. And when you get here, I want you guys to take about 4 deep breaths, breathing in through our nose and then slowly breathing out through our mouth. And if you have to make the sound as you breathe out, no worries, just go ahead and do it. So let's take 3 or 4 breaths here, right here in Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's breathe in. Exhale, let your body relax. Again. Two more breaths. Last one. Breathe in. Exhale. On your next inhale, send both arms up. All the way up. Keep breathing in until you get those arms all the way up. Biceps by our ears. And let's stretch all the way up through our middle fingers. You can look up at your fingers if you need to. But I want you to really stretch up through your shoulders. So really get a nice deep stretch all the way through our shoulders. Pick those shoulders up. Our biceps are by our ears. So not a lazy stretch, an active stretch. Pick those shoulders up. Look up to your middle finger. Stretch all the way through that finger. As you exhale slowly, I want you to bend all the way down. Forward fold. Touch your toes, touch your ankles, touch the ground. Very slowly, and I want you to drop your head down. I want you to relax your shoulders. I don't want you to look up at me. I want the top of your head to be in the direction of the ground. Take about 2 deep breaths as you're bent over. Breathe in. Exhale. Another deep breath. Breathe in. Exhale. On your next inhale, slowly, I want you to rise up vertebrae by vertebrae, nice and slow. You can stop halfway if you need to. And then very slowly as you inhale, bring yourself back up into a standing position. All the way back up into our mountain pose again. Shoulders are down and relaxed. Looking forward. And just take a few regular breaths here. Breathe in and out. In and out. Very good. Let's bring our hands in prayer position. So our hands are right here at our chest. Our palms are pressed together. Our elbows are kind of up, so not down like so, but our elbows are kind of up. We're going to remain active. Our feet are still in alignment. Readjust if you need to. And we're going to just twist our waist, twist our bodies over to the left. Our head is going to look over our left shoulder. So let's hold our hands together. Nice twist over the left. Looking over your left shoulder. Nice deep twist, kind of like a rag. Take a few deep breaths in your twist. Very slowly come back to center, keeping the elbows up and the hands pressed together. And let's just twist over to the right. Looking over that right shoulder. Oh, I feel that one in the right. Usually when I twist to the right, I do feel it just a little bit more, y'all. Take a few breaths in that twist. Press those hands together. Soles of your feet are pressed down. Very slowly come back to center. Let's keep our hands pressed and raise them both up in the air. Biceps by the ears, so really stretch through those shoulders, keeping our hands pressed together. A little different than when our hands are apart. Take a few breaths. Just bringing a lot of air into our lungs. All that pranayama, all that chi. Very good. Slowly go ahead and grasp your fingers together. Just very gentle grasp right here. Okay, we can bring our heads back to neutral. And I want you to just use your waist, just using this part right here. So keeping your hips as stable as you can. I want to just lean over to the right, just using your waist. Your chest is still up, your arms are still up, so you're not leaning forward. You're just bending to the side, keeping that chest and heart up and open. You can turn your head to look over to the left. Slowly bring yourself back up to a standing position. And now just using your waist, lean over to the left. Oh, nice side stretch there. So again, we're not folded over. Our arms and our chest are still up. We're just using this right here. You go ahead and turn and look over to the right. Taking a few breaths. And work back up nice and straight. Go ahead and lower your arms. You can shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Sometimes those side bends, they take a lot of you. You don't even know you're doing it, right? Go ahead and shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Guys, let's send our arms back up. And I want you to do a little baby back bend. So I'm going to turn right here. But I want you to just bend back just a bit. Your feet are firm. And so you're really pushing your pelvis, you're pushing your hips forward, trying to get a nice back bend in your spine. Don't forget to breathe. And slowly come back up. You may have felt yourself shake a little bit. I know I did. It's just because we don't really bend back so much, okay? Let's go ahead and rotate our arms, our shoulders, and our neck. The dogs next door are barking. We got motorcycles in the background, all kind of things happening, right? Let's go ahead and do a nice little neck rotations. So we're just going to pretend that a pencil is on the edge, the tip of our nose, and we're going to make big circles with that pencil. Okay, so let's just do 4 in one direction. The shoulders are down away from our ears. Do everything as we rotate our neck, so we're not holding our breath at any point. And we'll do 3 or 4. And then once we're done with those 3 or 4 in one direction, reset and draw 3 or 4 big circles in the opposite direction. Very good. Go ahead and bring your head back to neutral, and then just turn your neck to look over to the left. Just a nice little neck stretch right here. And let's turn our head to look over to the right. Nice little neck stretch. Right. Right. back to neutral, and I'm going to get into a balance pose pretty early in this. So let's go ahead and we'll do a couple of stretches with our legs right here. Okay, so basic stretches right here. Okay, we're going to have our balance all in one leg. So let's put all of our weight into our left leg. So we shift our weight just a little bit. We're going to shift just a little bit, right? So we have all of our weight in our left leg. Our toes, our feet are still in alignment, pointed straight. All of our weight is in our left leg. And you can kind of just test it by really lifting up that right leg, right? Lifting up the right leg, seeing how much weight you can balance in there, okay? And we're just going to do a stand on one leg right here. So this is going to work your core. It's going to work your balance. It's going to work the muscles in your leg. We're just going to stand on one leg. So we're going to lift up our right leg, okay? And with our right hand, we're going to grab it. We're going to grab our foot there, and we're going to balance right here on our left leg. I want you to hold this stance for about 3 to 4 breaths. And this is something that you can work on at any time of the day or almost anywhere, just standing on one leg, right? Once you're able to balance on one leg for 3 to 4 breaths, you can go ahead and release that right leg. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. And we're going to do the same thing on the right. So let's shift our weight to the right. Make sure all of our weight is in our right leg. And we do that just by kind of lifting up that left leg, seeing what that feels like. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and focus on something that's about 2 to 3 feet ahead of you on the ground or kind of in your eye line. And then we're going to lift up that left leg. Reach down and just hold it up. Take 3 or 4 breaths while we're lifting up the leg. Once you're able to take your 3 or 4 breaths by focusing on something that's 2 to 3 feet ahead of you, squeezing your core to keep your balance. You want to stay upright. Then you go ahead and release. That's something that you can definitely practice on your own, okay? So we worked on balance. We know what it feels like to now stand on one leg. So let's go to our tree pose, one of the most popular poses that we see. So again, we're in our Tadasana. We're in our mountain. We're standing with our feet pointed straight ahead. We're tall, we're firm, we're standing up really nice and tall. And we're going to just take all of our weight and put it in our left leg again, okay? So we're going to just shift just a bit, putting it in our left leg. Our right leg, we're going to turn it out to the side. And we're going to place our right leg anywhere on our left leg except for the kneecap. So you can come here to your ankle. You can bring it up here to the calf. You can help yourself and bring it up here to the thigh. It really doesn't matter where you place it because you're using the same muscles, whether you're here, here, or here. You're activating the same muscles, okay? But as you get stronger, you can tend to go higher, okay? So challenge yourself a bit. See wherever you get that sweet spot of balance. Focus on something that's about 2 to 3 feet ahead of you and get that sweet spot, okay? Once you found that spot where you're comfortable standing on one leg, open up that hip. So our torso is still going to be somewhat forward. We're just going to open up our hip. Now, yes, our torso is going to move just a bit naturally, but we're focusing on just opening up the hip, not turning the body, okay? So there's a difference in this and this, okay? So I just want you to open up that hip. And if you happen to teeter-totter, don't worry, just reset. So after you found that sweet spot, open up that hip. Focus on something that's 2 to 3 feet ahead of you. Take a few deep breaths in your balance pose, squeezing your stomach. Shoulders are relaxed. Just taking a few breaths. And whenever you are ready, you can grow your tree. Okay? And you can have your hand in a mudra if you want to. You can have it however you like right here. You can grow your tree. So we've done it with our balance in our left leg. Now let's do it with the balance in our right leg, okay? So go ahead and reset, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Have your sip of water or tea if you like. This is a good time to do it. And we'll go ahead and we'll stand back in our Tadasana, back in our alignment pose. Our toes are pointing straight up. We'll shift all our weight to the right. We'll take our left foot and we'll place our foot anywhere on our right leg except for the kneecap. And you may find that one side of your body is a bit more stable. It's not as shaky as the other. That's okay, that's pretty natural. Again, you can come here, you can come to your calf, or you can help yourself up to the thigh. Doesn't really matter how far up you go because you're using the same muscles, okay? Once you get to that sweet spot, you found that balance, that's about focus on something 3 to 4 feet ahead of you. Go ahead and open up that hip, rotate the hip open. Okay, this side is definitely more shaky for me because I did have a knee injury. Focus on something that's 2 to 3 feet ahead of you. You can squeeze in your stomach and get some good deep breaths. Make sure your back is straight. And then as you're ready, you can grow your tree. Don't forget to smile while you breathe. Take about 3 to 4 breaths in your position, in your pose. And when you're ready, you can release that pose. Very nice. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Shake it out, y'all. I like it. So that is our balance pose, and I do like to do balance poses because sometimes, especially as we get older, our balance gets a little shaky, and we can just work on our balance pose as often as we need to. So now I'm going to take you from up to down. We're going to get down onto the mat, okay? All right, so guys, I want you to stand kind of on the edge of your mat here. Okay, so edge of the mat. I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to breathe in nice and big. And as you exhale, I want you to come down into a forward fold. So let's go ahead and take a nice big deep breath in. Exhale and forward fold all the way down. Forward fold. Try to reach the mat, your ankles, your foot, forward fold all the way down. And then walk your hands out in front of you. Walk your hands out in front of you, and you are now in a downward facing dog. You can go ahead and try to put a lot of that weight into your feet instead of in your hands, but you're in your downward facing dog here. Take a few deep breaths in downward facing dog. Do not hold your breath here. Let's go to 3-legged dog. Go ahead and raise up that left leg as high as you can. Raise it up. Let's see if we can raise it up without our knees being bent. 3-legged dog. If you have to have them bent, that is no worries. Take a few deep breaths. Do not hold your breath. Go ahead and release that pose. And let's do the same thing with our right leg. Raise our right leg up all the way up. Very nice. Go ahead and release that. Guys, I want you to walk your hands out in front of you, and I want you to walk your feet out behind you. I want you to come into a high plank. Take 3 breaths right here in your plank. Let's breathe in. Next breath, breathe in. Exhale, last breath here. Inhale. Exhale, go ahead and bend both of your knees down. You are now down into a tabletop. You can walk your hands back until you're in your tabletop position. So our knees are about shoulder width apart. Our hands are about shoulder width apart. You can form a square in between your hands and your knees. And our back is straight, like we can put a tea kettle on our back. Let's go ahead and get into a few cat-cows here. So on your inhale, I want you to curve your spine up, dropping your head down, elbows stay straight, curve your spine up. And right here, I want you to really try to get your belly button touching your back. Suck your belly button in so we can get the bottom half of your spine curved up. So really suck in your belly button. Very good. Exhale and sink your spine all the way down. Sinking our spine down. I want you to look up so your shoulders are dropped down away from your ears and our hips are really pushed out. Try to get a nice good arch into your back. I want you to inhale. Go ahead and curve your spine all the way back up. Sucking in that belly button. Head drops down. Exhale and go ahead and sink your spine down. Back into your cow. Lift your head up. We got one more here, guys. Go ahead and inhale and curve your spine up. Bringing your spine all the way up. Sucking in your belly button. Last one here, guys. I want you to exhale. Curve your spine down. Look up at the sky and really send your hips out. Don't be afraid to stick your hips out right here. Very good, guys. I want you to bring your back into a flat back into your tabletop. And if you can, go ahead and sink your hips down. Let's come down into child's pose. So your hips are touching your buttocks and your arms are stretched out all the way out in front of you. Stretch your arms out. Really get a nice, good stretch through your shoulders. You can drop your head down onto your mat. Now, right here, if you do need to open up your legs a bit in order to get your body cushions in between that spot, don't worry. Just open up your legs, come into a frog position, and stretch your arms all the way out. Take a few deep breaths here because you know we don't stay here too long, right? Very good. Go ahead and take your last breath and come back up into your tabletop position. I want you to take your left leg and send it out behind you. Take your right arm and send it out in front of you. Really give a good stretch right here. Hold your balance. Raise your chest up and stretch. Very good. We're going to take it a bit further. Go ahead and bend your right leg. Reach around and grab your leg here. Stretch up. Nice stretch here for the thighs. Heart opener, chest opener. Don't forget to breathe. Go ahead and release that position. Drop your leg down. Bring your hands back into tabletop position. Let's go back into child's pose. Take 2 or 3 breaths right here. Last breath, guys. Very good. Come back into our tabletop position. Nice. Stretch your right leg out behind you. Left leg comes out, left arm comes out in front of you. Stretch all the way out through your toes and through your fingertips. Go ahead and bend your right leg back and then reach around and hold your chest up and bring that thigh up. Really, really challenge yourself by bringing up that thigh. Hold your balance. Very good. Go ahead and release. Exhale and release that pose. Drop your leg down. Drop your arms back down into child's pose. Stretching out all the way out through your shoulders. Dropping your head down. Take a few breaths in child's pose. Last breath here. Very good, guys. I want you to lay out flat on your mat. Lay flat, stomach down onto the mat. So we're laying down flat onto the mat. Okay? Our forearms are on the mat. So our elbow is alongside our chest. Elbow is alongside the chest. Our palms are flat onto our mat. Okay. Right here, we're just going to do a cobra. We're just going to raise up our chest, keeping our forearms and our elbows down on the mat. Just going to do a little back bend, raising up slightly. Heart opener. From here, we're going to go a step further. Okay, we're going to come up on our hands. So we have the palm of our hands now are by our chest. Palm of your hands are by your chest. And on the count of 3, we're going to raise up our torso. 1, 2, 3. Raise up. Afternoon. Raise up. Hold this pose for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. pushing our torso down on the mat, just raising up our chest. Last breath here. And you can come down and you can relax. You can release that pose. Y'all done worked out today, right? Go ahead and just take a few deep breaths in your relaxation pose. And go ahead and roll over on your backs here. If you need to take a sip of water, this is a good time to take that sip of water right here. So go ahead and roll over and lay on your backs. Everybody come home now, y'all. Oh, I'm hoping that the dogs allow us to get into some type of Shavasana. We will find out shortly. But go ahead and lay down on your backs. You can have your legs straight out in front of you. Your arms are down by your sides. Go ahead and bend your knees, and just hug your knees to your chest for a bit. Let's rock and roll out your spine. We did a little bit of spinal work at the end. So go ahead and just rock and roll your spine out, okay? Thanking it for moving. But just giving your back a whole massage here. Rock and roll your spine. You can go ahead and do a little butterfly kick with your legs. Just kind of working your legs. You've been standing up for a good bit. Yep. No rhyme or reason. Just waking up your legs, thanking your legs for moving today, right? All right, guys. We got our legs nice and straight now out in front of us. And our hands are by our sides. And we're going to take a few deep breaths here. We're going to take a cooling breath right here. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to form a circle with your tongue. Let me show you. I want you to curl your tongue so it forms a circle. Okay, can you guys see that? So curl your tongue so it forms a circle. And I want you to breathe in through that circle. So take a nice deep breath in through that curved tongue. I want you to breathe in as much air as you can. Whenever you've gotten your lungs filled to capacity, bring your tongue back in your mouth. Close your mouth and breathe out through your nose. So it's gonna go okay? We'll do that again. Breathe in through the circle in your tongue. Close your mouth. And then slowly breathe out through your nose. This is a cooling exercise, a cooling breath. So let's do 2 more of those. Breathe in through the circle in your tongue. Bring your tongue in. Exhale through your nose. Last one. Breathe in. Exhale. Very good, guys. You can continue to lay here in your Shavasana. Right here, you can set your intention for the rest of the week. You can think of a chant that you want to say. You can meditate on anything that you want to meditate on. Or you can just listen to your own heartbeat and focus on your own breath. You can do whatever you want here in your Shavasana, in your resting pose. I will stay quiet for the next minute or so as you just focus on yourself. Remember that the universe conspires to give us the desires of our heart. So whatever intention you set in this space, know that it is so. So I will stay quiet for the next minute or so as you focus on yourself. As you can start to take a few deep breaths, bringing yourself back to your awareness, wiggling your toes, rotating your wrist, opening, closing your hands, coming back to your natural breathing. You can start to move your legs, move your neck from side to side, and move your head from side to side. Now, Shavasana, the resting pose, the corpse pose, is a very important part, one of the most important parts of yoga. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to determine the time whenever you're teaching virtually. But if you're in a yoga class, or even if there's a moment that you just want to relax for yourself, do not skip your rest. Do not skip your Shavasana. Take the 3 or 4 or 7 minutes to just be. It is a very important part of yoga, one of the most important poses that we teach. Thank you guys for joining the live, and if you're on the live preview, I do thank you also for watching. Thank you for just joining us and subscribing. We definitely appreciate it. Know that I never take any of this for granted. I'm always just so amused and thankful when people allow me to teach yoga to them. So thank you, coming from the wonderful, wonderful Caribbean island of St. Kitts. So today and every day, I wish you peace. I will see you next time.